from the second you get engaged, you already feel like you're behind in doing everything, right? And so you often feel, when you ask people how the process is for them, the words they most often use is stressful and exhausting. And so many people say they just can't wait for it to all be over. Really?
Let's talk about your new venture, this book
Yeah.
that I'm super excited that you're co-authoring. Let's talk a little bit about it and why you decided to make it.
I am so excited for it. I'm also excited for the experience of doing it because I've obviously never written a book before.
That's like the one thing you haven't done.
No.
No.
But so excited for it. So my friend Megan and I are creating a book around marriages for modern couples, and really it stems from my own experience of it. So when Dave and I got engaged, we procrastinated planning anything for the wedding for almost 5 months, and our wedding was 8 months from when we got engaged.
Okay.
Because the wedding industry, everything that it was about and the way it told us to do things once we got engaged was so not our jam. Like it was just, it talked about things being super logistics driven, and it was starting to miss the core and the real importance of it, of why two people and two hearts are coming together.
Right.
And the beauty of that, and really the meaning behind it. This book is really going to be a compilation of stories and then recipes from those stories of how people designed their weddings and what process they went through. So for us, what we realized is that because it was so logistics driven, it really totally eliminated values and feelings. So we were like, okay, how do we do this? How do we design this wedding that we want? There wasn't a good process to go about it. So we said, okay, why don't we start with asking ourselves the question of how do we want to feel on our wedding day, and how do we want our community to feel? From there, we distilled that down to 8 core values that we wanted manifested at our wedding. So one of them was comfort, another one was spirituality, another one was community, another one was fun. So we had 8 words that really represented things that were really important to us, that we wanted to feel and our guests to feel throughout our wedding weekend. We invited people to participate in the wedding actively, because we know that when we do something, actively we engage with it, we feel a little bit more accountability towards it, and we feel responsibility towards it, and we wanted our wedding to involve community in that way and to have that feeling with it.
See, I kind of wish I was at your wedding. Well, you kind of talked about, we talked about how you get married at one stage, and then obviously as you evolve, your relationship evolves.
Yeah.
And I think you were talking about Esther Perel makes this.
She talks about how the evolution of marriages, and so she is on her fourth marriage with the same husband.
Yeah.
And so she talks about was how a relationship can morph based on stages of life. Like when Steve and I met, we were in university. Who we were then and who we needed in a life partner then is different than who we need now and who we are today. And so a relationship kind of needs to catch up with that, right? And that might mean it needs to change, and there needs to be different ways of being for each other and how you are for each other, which I think is a really important conversation to have in a relationship, and to know that you can have that conversation without feeling threatened that your relationship is now over.
For more words of wisdom from Paulina and other rad women, head on over to taratv.com.